Marshmallow Fanboy back with another review, this time of the Walmart exclusive G.I. Joe Classified Series Night Force figures. I think I'm going to review all of them. I'm pretty sure I've got all of them. I've got Shooter, and I've got Big Ben, I have Tunnel Rat, I have Wolf Spider, and of course in the back I have Shockwave with the Night Pursuit. This is very cool. The Night Force figures started coming out in 1988. There was a wave in 1988 and one in 1989. I'm not sure how the waves worked back then. I know there were 6 figures, I think, in each one of them. And out of all of them, they only got 2 of them from the 1988-1989 series, which is, there was a Night Force Tunnel Rat and a Night Force Shockwave. So these 2 were absolutely in that back in the 80s. The rest of it just seemed like it kind of fizzled out. They did, Tiger Force in 1988, and they did Ninja Force, and they did some things like that. And it was, I don't know, it was on the way out. I think I'd stopped collecting the figures, so I'd never heard of Night Force or Tiger Force or anything. So yeah, I was on the way out. I might have gotten a couple figures. I think Chuckles came out in 1980. I remember distinctly I definitely got Chuckles, but I think maybe I was more selective or I'd moved on to other things. I'm not really sure. But these are all Walmart exclusives, which means I had to get them at Walmart Collector Con or, as they were kind of announced. This one is a funny story. It's a weird story because I pre-ordered him on time. And then I happened to be on Walmart. It was the Walmart Con this year. And this figure was listed at $20 off. And I thought, I already ordered him. Did I already get him? And I checked my orders. And he was still in there at 50 some odd dollars, 55 I think. So I canceled him. I got him on sale. And I got him almost immediately after. I don't know if that's coincidence or not. But I think, note to Walmart, it's a super bad idea to drop, your price $20 right before it's about to come out. Maybe wait until it's been out for a little while and then drop $20 off of it. But either way, super appreciative. Love, the Ram Cycle repaint and the repaint of Shockwave, like the kind of the Firefly colors, the gray and white kind of, and I like the new stuff we're getting. Shooter, I don't know if Shooter was in the 25th or 30th anniversary. I remember there was a figure contest, and it was somebody had created a cool character, and that character got their own figure. But there were a couple new ones, and I wonder if Shooter was one of them. I'm not absolutely sure, but Wolf Spider, I'm pretty sure, is completely new. Big Ben was one of those figures we got. We got him. He was 3 3/4. I think he was a convention exclusive with the rest of the October Guard. It was he wasn't cheap or easy to get. And then of course Tunnel Rat. There's been a bunch of different Tunnel Rats. Tunnel Rat was relatively easy to get as far as the original. And this one a little bit tougher because it was Walmart, but really worth getting. All of them were worth getting, incidentally. I'm not going to say they weren't. Really selling the Energon Crystal storyline. Shooter in the jungle, Big Ben and Tunnel Rat in the tunnels with the Energon crystals. Doesn't look like the same diorama was used on both of them, but it does look like a digital background on both of them, so it doesn't look like they were posed in the environment, although Shooter does. It looks like there's a shadow here, and maybe they photoshopped that to make the shadow sort of appear there. That's very cool. They make the Energon crystals glow a little bit for Wolf Spider rappelling down into a dark jungle with a pyramid in it and everything that would scream kind of a Cobra location with the temples and everything. On the back, this was the plastic-free packaging for all 4 of them. All of their cool stuff is on the back. The stuff you should be paying attention to, like the countdown, things like that. The British, maybe he was an October Guard. Who was the I'm still going to say October. Big Ben, Rats. If he's got the Great Britain, I'm still going to say October Guard. I don't know why. Maybe October Guard had soldiers from other countries. Maybe. Cool side art. I neglected to show you the side art. It's very cool. 77, 90, 109, 107. So these two came out. I pre-ordered both of them at the same time, I think. Along with like the Mole Rat, I think. And these came separate years, I'm guessing. And then, of course, this came way later. This was 127. This came the next year. So a Night Force figure every year or so, or 2 or 3, depending on what Walmart gets. The other side is, of course, their file cards, their codes, so you can see who they are, even though there's not great art, but you can scan these at your leisure, look them up. You can put them on a bookshelf and one by one just kind of go through them one day and check them out. Well, this is just another repaint of the Ram. I'm not complaining. I wasn't complaining with Tiger Force. I'm not complaining with Night Force. I get it. It's a great way to reuse some things. Everything in here, reuse. I don't think there's anything that's brand new at all. I think that we're just getting a repaint, and we're getting a Shock Trooper helmet in case you bought 5 of these guys. It could be Shockwave leading a bunch of these Shockwave kind of, or Shock Troopers rather. But he's got the drone. I think the drone first came with Firefly. I recognize a lot of the weapons, though I can't place who they were for. The backpack might be Shockwaves, but just repainted slightly. And of course, he's got just the striking detail. You know, these sort of 8-bit graphic designs in his clothing. And he's got the cool jacket that goes really nice with that. He's got the hat that's really nice, and of course the helmet. You can't see the hat, but there it is. Covert Special Task Force is not something that I think would get printed on a panel in real life, because, you know, if he leaves it in the jungle to go pee or something and somebody goes, hey, this Covert Special Task Force, he can like call that in to headquarters and say, hey, there's a Covert Special Task Force out here. And then Cobra Commander will be like, Night Force here? Mobilize our troops. Sorry, that was my Cobra Commander. It's not great, but it's not as bad as my Destro. I see your Destro is very good, Commander. It was super lame. Sorry about that. So, he has, you can't see that, but he has, let me lay that sideways, very cool Shockwave graphics. Of course, kind of looks like Cobra Island on the back a little bit, but it's very cool display. Shows you kind of what's on the panels, shows you some of the details, shows you the logo, shows you Firefly's drone with the repaint in flight, and shows with the helmet. And that's a good choice. I mean, you can display it with the helmet on. You could display it. You're probably going to display without the helmet. Shockwave is non-existent without the head, you know. But if you had 10 of these guys, you could have one Shockwave riding out front and the rest sort of flanking him. I don't know why you'd get an odd number, though. You'd probably get 11. So, technically an army builder, yes. But it is Shockwave and Night Pursuit. But absolutely an army builder. See that? I couldn't figure out if it was an army builder or not, and now I'm on board with an army builder. So, these guys look good in the package. Let's break them out and see what we think about them in person. Okay, now that I've got them out of the package, let's take a closer look at Night Force. The, I think, complete set so far. I'm not going to show any of the articulation. It's not that much different from, you know, the other figures, and I just want to go over the details and not really the articulation. Except on maybe Tunnel Rat, who's got one hand that just doesn't have a hinge on it, so it's a pain in the butt to put the gun in his right hand, but he's got a hinge on his left for some reason. I took the hand completely off at some point to try to get it in position, but no hinge on that right hand for some reason. So let's start with the guy who is up front and center, Shockwave. The new version of Shockwave, of course, not the blues, but the grays, the green, the gold bullets, which is a very nice touch. The green clip and the green, I think that you can use that as a grip. I don't think you would put that on anything. Yeah, it's another grip. I knocked that thing off early on, and I spent a while looking for it. The backpack has holes in it. Well, a hole in it. I'm not sure what that was for. Could have been for one of the weapons, maybe. But it wasn't for... Yeah, I don't know if it was for one of the weapons or not. I'm not sure what it was for. I repeated that, didn't I? So, he has a pistol. In here, he has a knife. He has the Uzi with the silencer. I don't know if the... Oh yeah, the silencer comes off, because that's twisting. He has a knife here too. Machine gun there. The drone plugs into the backpack here. You can get that off, and you can see that you can position it. You can stand him up. You can see him standing up here with a version of steel core helmet that goes on Shockwave, and the artwork it's on when he's on the motorcycle, which makes sense. You need a helmet. And this came, I don't think I had to put that on. I might have had to put that on. Either way, it was easy to put on, and it clipped in pretty easy. Unlike tunnel rats. That's right, I'm going to complain about tunnel rat early and often on this one, I think. So, the backpack, the gun, the hat is removable. The hat comes on, or is on inside the package. But you can take it off if you want to. But it's cooler on. I mean, it should be on. See the knife here. Sort of a little metal knife. The knife that's in his holster down here is pretty odd. I don't know what you would call that. I call that odd. It's pretty cool, but I don't know exactly what it is. Okay, let's take a closer look at Night Pursuit, the bike that comes with Shockwave. So it's standard RAM, except that, you know, the colors are different. Kickstand is down, so it doesn't get away. The logos are different. The instrument panel is kind of the same. It looks just like there's just a different color scheme to it. But it's really cool. It's really detailed. The big difference is here in the sidecar with the Gatling gun. When you break this open, the wheel comes off at the bottom, which didn't on previous ones, I don't believe. But also, when you take the gun out, you have this canister, and it came on when it came with it, but the canister slides in just like that to have sort of an ammo can, which is a really nice touch. It's the only... I don't think the Tiger Force one had it, and I know the Ram didn't have it, but this one has it. It's a really cool addition to the bike. If I'm right, and that is an addition to the bike. Now let's talk about Shooter. Shooter came with this hairpiece on, and it is just like Lady J or some of the other ones where you could take the whole hair off and then replace it with something else. In this case, the mask and the hair are empty. They just slide right onto her head. This is a version of her hair without the mask. And I put the version that's just sort of straight and not maybe has the little tail at the end or anything. and doesn't have as big a tail. So I put that headpiece on. She comes with the long gun, and it's pretty straightforward. There was a clip here, and I put that in. She has this on the back, which is a good way to carry the gun. You don't want to skew it too far. I'll show you what I mean by that. I'm getting ahead of myself. So when it goes on, it fills that hole, and then the guard rests on this lower spot. You can move it around so that it displays better, but if it's too far out to the side, of course, she walks into things, and that's no bueno. But if you put it maybe slightly that way, you can't really see it from the front, so that's a problem too. But it's a good problem to have. She has butterfly joints. One of the only female figures with butterfly joints, which is really nice. She has this kind of knife, which I'm guessing is part of her heritage. Something maybe ceremonial or like that. And it's nice. It goes right inside here. It's a nice touch. She has a pistol here, which didn't have any modifications to it or anything. The shooter is just a solid figure. Like I said, I don't know. It's got a cool tattoo right there. I don't know if she was represented in the 3 3/4 line. I didn't research that. My feeling is yes, there was a shooter figure. I can't remember offhand if there was or not. But it's a really cool figure. It's a great use of reuse, if there is a lot of reuse on it. I'm not sure if there's a lot of reuse or not. But the vest and everything else is probably something that was used before. I'm not sure. You know, I like to think some of this is new sculpting because it just doesn't jump out at me as having gone to anybody else. But I'm probably wrong. So, and I don't know what these shoes are. They're like maybe soft sneakers where she can run right through the woods, and maybe it disperses her weight so that even if she crushes a leaf, nobody can really hear it because her weight is so distributed. I don't know. But that is Shooter. Shooter is an excellent figure. And this is Tunnel Rat. Tunnel Rat and I did not get along real well. His weapon is hard for his right hand to hold. From this angle, it looks like he has a hinge in there. But I took the hand off. There was no hinge. Let me try it. Yeah, his hand has no hinge in it, which is just really weird. Why would this be the only hand without a hinge? Anywho, he comes with the night vision goggles, which go over pretty easily. The satchel charge, which comes off really easily, because I put him on really easily. Oop, his pistol is mostly coming out. The pistol doesn't go into the holster very well, so that's sort of a problem. Or I'm not pressing hard enough. That could be it too. But the sort of the thing that it's attached to seems very kind of flimsy. Seems like I would hurt it if I pressed too hard. So he's got a little dot there. It might be for maybe one of the flashlights. I'm not sure if you could use the flashlights off that, but the flashlights look really nice because they look like you could unscrew one end and put batteries in. They look hefty, they look functional. And that's probably not easy to do when you're going, you know what, they're just going to plug into a backpack. Backpack's very detailed. So they didn't really need to go super detailed on flashlights, but the fact that they did is just really cool. I like that a lot. The machine gun has the clip, and while some of the clips go in real easy, this one's a pain, mostly because his hand is so close to the clip that every time you put it in, the clip pops off. Every time the figure falls over, the clip pops off. And for that matter, so does the backpack. The backpack, you know, comes off. The knife goes skittering across the floor. The knife is pretty good in the holster, but it's, you know, it just comes right out if he falls down. You know, the only thing he never dropped was the bullets, which I appreciate. Thanks for hanging on to those. I'm hoping this tunnel rat isn't indicative of the regular version of tunnel rat, because that is going to be a pain to pose out, a pain to put stuff in. This is going to be a pain. It was hard to get all of his gear on, and I did it for the turntable, the shorts video that I took, but I couldn't, you know, once it came off the turntable, fell right over, everything fell off, and then I spent, you know, 10-15 minutes just trying to stand him up and get everything into his hands again, and then I just gave up, and I was like, this is good enough. So tunnel rat is maybe should have been engineered a little bit more. Maybe, I don't know, there should be a hinge in that hand for some reason, and it just looks like there is. Except that I took it off and there was no hinge. I can see the hinge in this hand. There is no like hinge on that side. Yeah, the hinge is right there. So maybe I should have put the gun in that hand, and maybe that was my fault. And I probably should have put it in that hand, and I didn't. So that I'm gonna chalk that up as my bad. I forgot to show you something cool on Shockwave. He has this backpack, and inside the backpack, this weird pack inside the pack, and I don't know what it's for, but it has a little thing to plug in, but I couldn't find another place to kind of plug it in, unless it's part of the drone. Maybe is it part of the drone? No, I don't see how that would not plug in, so I'm not sure. Maybe it plugs in on the bike somewhere, but I looked at the bike already. I didn't see anything, so I don't know what this plugs into except for his backpack. So I'm going to put it back into his backpack for safe keeping, because, you know, nobody's got your back like a backpack. Wolf Spider was a little bit of a pain in my butt too, mostly because he has these little parts like the sort of the shoulder stop on the shotgun handle that fell off. That took a little while to find. So the stock on the shotgun, and it terminates in sort of the shoulder thing, and I don't know what it's called, but it fell off right away, and I had to chase that bad boy down a little bit. Put the rope in his hand because I didn't know what to do with it. I thought the rope should go there. He has a thing over his eye. I don't know if that's night vision or not. He has a pistol. It's very cool. Does he have a knife anywhere? No. Okay. No knife. It's in the backpack. So he has this, and then you can take the knife out and stab, stab, stab. But, like, don't. And then there's the antenna, and that's in there. There's rope here. It moves. Does it come off? No, it doesn't come off. Okay. So there was no place to put the rope. I imagine the rope adds some function. It would add something cool to your action figure photography. As for the helmet, I couldn't find a way to get the chin strap loose. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, or if it just, maybe it unplugs from somewhere and I'm just not sure where. But also it's super mushy, so I can't mush it down over his head. It's mushy. Look at that. It's just like blah, blah, blah. So no getting this on for me. You've probably figured out a way. You probably took his head off and did some weird thing where you lit something on fire, and then the smoke sucked it in. The night vision goggles go great over the helmet that I can't get over his head. So that's good. I feel like it unclips from somewhere. I feel like it has to undo from somewhere. But I'm not finding that somewhere. So the helmet will just not go on for me, which is fine. Wolf Spider's a new character. Has a Wolf Spider patch on his arm, which is, you know, putting a hat on a hat. But that's cool. It's got Beachhead's head. It's got cool details in the jacket and the color scheme. pretty neat. I wonder if the yellow is supposed to be kind of a, like, the yellow is most venomous or something. Like red is bad, but yellow is super venomous or something. I'm not sure if that's what that means. If that's what it correlates to. I don't know what these are. Charges, maybe? They look really cool. I don't know what those are. So Wolf Spider is pretty solid. I couldn't hardly get the backpack on through the jacket, no matter how I lined up the hole. So I don't think that the hole in the backpack fits properly. But that's my opinion. That's just based on the figure that I have, and the figure that you have might not have that problem. Big Ben is a solid chunk of toy. It comes with the gas mask head, which is much preferable to the stupid gummy weird thing that we got from Wolf Spider that kind of doesn't go over his head at all. He also has this gun, which is very cool. I put the clip in there, and it also has this, which is to grab onto. It's a little handle, so you're, it doesn't climb on you. It's got this one. I don't think I put the clip in to this one. I think it came in, or maybe I did. I'm not absolutely sure if I put the clip. You have to put the clip in so many of these. Also with the Uzi, I had to attach the silencer after the fact, but the Uzi has, if I can get it back out, it's very snub-nosed Uzi, very cool looking. So that looks very cool. Other than that, he looks mean. He looks nasty. He looks like he could take out a lot of people with or without his weapons. Here's the Joe Pro up here. He's got really cool detailing. Looks like he's suited up for the snow. And of course that sort of supports my October Guard theory. I still think this guy's in the October Guard. And those are the Night Force figures so far. Some of them are awesome, and some of them definitely broke my heart. But I'll be going back for seconds and thirds and fourths if Walmart comes out with more of these. And I'm sure they will. I'm sure they didn't come out with one this year. I can't remember what their G.I. Joe figure was. I think it was a 2-pack. I think it was Falcon and Quiver. It was Falcon and Quiver. I'm pretty sure was the 2-pack. So I look forward to reviewing that in the future. And as always, enjoy your toys.